The Tactical Diary, Day 25. Mastering CompTIA Plus 220-1101 equips intelligence officers with essential tech skills for the field, from securing networks and mobile devices to diagnosing hardware failures under pressure. These competencies enable operatives to maintain stealthy communications, detect digital threats, and ensure mission success in high-risk, technology-driven environments. The officers often deal with bugged devices, wiretaps, or compromised computers, recognize suspicious hardware, like modified USB devices, network taps, or rogue Wi-Fi access points, replace or secure components in field equipment without leaving evidence, configure laptops to be secure and resistant to hacking or tracking. What frequency band does 802.111 AC primarily operate in? Answer: 5 GHz. Many confuse it with dual-band 2.4 GHz networks. Which cloud model allows users to control applications, but not the underlying infrastructure? Answer: PaaS. IaaS versus PaaS versus SaaS is a common area of confusion. Which type of RAID provides redundancy and uses mirroring? Answer: RAID 1. Candidates often confuse RAID 1, mirroring, with RAID 0, striping. What network service automatically assigns IP addresses to devices? Answer: DHCP. Forgetting the acronym often leads to wrong answers. What unique identifier is assigned to a network interface card? Answer: MAC address. People sometimes answer IP address, but that's assigned logically, not physically. A user's smartphone connects to Wi-Fi, but not the internet. What's the most likely cause? Answer: DHCP server down. Many assume Wi-Fi itself is the issue, not IP assignment. Which wireless encryption standard is currently the most secure for home use? Answer: WPA2. WPA and WEP are outdated. WPA3 is newer but not as widely deployed yet. Which IP address class supports up to 254 hosts per network? Answer: Class C. Misunderstanding IP classes is common among beginners. Which connector provides both video and audio through a single cable? Answer: HDMI. DVI only carries video, which confuses many test takers. What component stores the system clock and BIOS settings? Answer: CMOS battery. Many assume this is stored in RAM or motherboard firmware. A laser printer leaves black streaks on the page. What component likely needs cleaning or replacement? Answer: drum unit. Candidates often mistakenly replace toner first. Which type of cable is immune to electromagnetic interference? EMI. Answer: fiber optic. Many assume Cat6 or shielded copper is immune, but only fiber uses light signals. What is the first step in the troubleshooting process? Answer: identify the problem. Test takers sometimes jump straight to solutions without analysis. The user cannot connect to a website but can ping its IP address. What's the likely problem? Answer: DNS failure. Confusion arises because the network is partially working. Which display technology uses liquid crystals and a backlight? Answer: LCD. OLED versus LCD is a common source of mistakes. LCD always needs a backlight. Which connector type is used to connect a monitor to a modern video card for the highest quality digital signal? Answer: DisplayPort. DisplayPort supports high-resolution digital video and audio. A user reports their laptop's battery won't charge. What's the first troubleshooting step? Answer: check the AC adapter and power LED. Always start with external power checks before opening the laptop. A desktop PC powers on but shows no display and no post beeps. Which is the most likely cause? Answer: failed video card. No post or display often points to GPU or motherboard issues. Which of the following uses TCP port 443? Answer: HTTPS. HTTPS encrypts web traffic for secure browsing. What's the maximum transmission speed of Cat6 Ethernet cable over 100 meters? Answer: 1 gigabit per second. Cat6 supports 10 gigabit per second for short runs, 1 gigabit per second for full length. A user's smartphone connects to Wi-Fi but not the internet. What's the most likely cause? Answer: DHCP server down. The device connects locally but can't get a valid IP address. Which type of RAID provides redundancy and uses mirroring? Answer: RAID 1. RAID 1 keeps identical copies of data on 2 drives. A technician needs to safely remove static electricity before handling computer parts. What should they use? Answer: grounding strap. A wrist strap prevents electrostatic discharge, ESD damage. Which type of drive offers the fastest performance for booting and loading applications? Answer: SSD, solid-state drive. SSDs have no moving parts and access data instantly. Which connector is commonly used for Ethernet networking? Answer: RJ45. RJ45 connectors attach to twisted pair network cables. What kind of address is written as 4 decimal numbers separated by periods? Answer: IPv4 address. Example: 192.168.1.1. Used in most local networks. Which USB connector type is reversible? Answer: USB-C. USB-C works either way up and supports high data transfer speeds. What unique identifier is assigned to a network interface card? Answer: MAC address. Every NIC has a unique hardware address used for communication. What command is used to test network connectivity between 2 devices? Answer: ping. Ping checks whether a target IP or domain responds to requests. What device filters traffic between a trusted and an untrusted network? Answer: firewall. Firewalls block or allow traffic based on security rules. What system controls a computer's startup process before the OS loads? Answer: BIOS UEFI. BIOS or UEFI initializes hardware and loads the bootloader. What substance should be applied between a CPU and heatsink? Answer: thermal paste. Thermal compound improves heat transfer between components. When a PC starts, what diagnostic process checks basic hardware? Answer: post power-on self-test. Post verifies the CPU, RAM, and other critical components. What component allows a computer to connect to a wired network? Answer: NIC, network interface card. The NIC provides a physical Ethernet connection to a network. A desktop won't power on at all. No lights, no fans, no noise. What's the most likely cause? Answer: power supply failure. The PSU converts AC to DC power. If it fails, the system won't start. What component handles most graphical processing tasks in modern computers? Answer: GPU, graphics processing unit. A GPU renders images and video much faster than a CPU. Which type of service allows users to store and access files online? Answer: cloud storage. Cloud services like Google Drive or OneDrive provide remote file access. A user's phone won't connect to any wireless network. What should be checked first? Answer: airplane mode. Airplane mode disables all wireless radios, including Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Which device provides network connectivity and routing functions in a home network? Answer: SOHO router. Small office, home office routers combine a modem, switch, and Wi-Fi AP. What network service automatically assigns IP addresses to devices? Answer: DHCP. Dynamic host configuration protocol eliminates the need for manual IP setup. Which wireless encryption standard is currently the most secure for home use? Answer: WPA2. WPA2 or WPA3 provides strong encryption for Wi-Fi connections. What is the name of a wireless network's unique identifier? Answer: SSID. The SSID is the Wi-Fi network name broadcast by the access point. What type of cable is typically used for Ethernet connections? Answer: Cat5e cable. Cat5e supports speeds up to 1 gigabit per second over standard 100-meter runs. What tool is used to test and verify cable continuity and wiring order? Answer: Cable tester. A cable tester checks for broken wires or incorrect pinouts. What device connects multiple network segments and filters traffic based on MAC addresses? Answer: Switch. Switches send traffic only to the intended recipient device. A technician installs a second SATA hard drive. After booting, the drive doesn't appear in Windows. What should the technician do next? Answer: Initialize and format the drive in disk management. New drives must be partitioned and formatted before they appear as usable storage. Configuring a wireless network. Question: A user wants to connect their laptop to a secure Wi-Fi network at home. Which security option provides the best protection? Answer: WPA2 AES. WPA2 with AES encryption is stronger than WEP or WPA and is the recommended standard for home networks. Question: A technician is configuring a printer to always have the same IP address. Where should this be done? Answer: In the printer's network settings, set static IP. Setting a static IP prevents the address from changing, ensuring reliable network printing. Question: A workstation can connect locally but not to the internet. It shows an IP address starting with 169.254.x.x. What is the issue? Answer: The DHCP server is unavailable. A 169.254 address means Windows used a PIPA because it couldn't reach a DHCP server. Advanced network bottleneck. Question: A 1 Gbps NIC connects to a managed switch, but caps at 100 Mbps. Both devices support gigabit. What's the most likely cause? Answer: A damaged or miswired cable, not all 8 conductors connected. Experienced techs check the physical layer first. Gigabit Ethernet needs all 8 wires. Hidden network conflict. Question: A company's Wi-Fi drops randomly when a microwave oven runs nearby. What's the real issue? Answer: 2.4 GHz interference. Only seasoned techs recognize microwave and Bluetooth overlap. Switching to 5 GHz fixes it instantly. Ghost power. Issue. Question: A PC turns on briefly, then shuts off. Fans spin for 1 second, no beeps. What's the best next test? Answer: Breadboard the system, outside the case. Experienced techs know a case short or grounding fault can cause instant shutdowns. Hardware ID troubleshooting. Question: A device shows as unknown device in Device Manager after reinstalling Windows. What should do? Answer: Check the hardware ID and manufacturer database. Pros use the ven/dev code in the driver details to find the exact missing driver. Firewall configuration. Question: A user installs a new software firewall and can no longer access shared files. What should the technician do? Answer: Allow file and printer sharing through the firewall. Firewalls block ports by default. Enabling file sharing reopens needed ones safely. 6. Port forwarding setup. Question: A gamer wants to host a multiplayer server so friends can connect from outside their network. What must be configured on the router? Answer: Port forwarding. Port forwarding directs external traffic to a specific internal device and port number. Setting up dual monitors. Question: a user wants to extend their desktop across 2 monitors. Which setting must be configured in Windows? Answer: display settings. Extend these displays. The extend option allows using both screens as one continuous workspace. Configuring virtualization. Question: the technician installs a hypervisor but gets an error. Virtualization not supported. What BIOS setting must be enabled? Answer: VTX AMD V. Hardware virtualization. CPU virtualization support must be turned on in BIOS before hypervisors can run VMs. The Tactical Diary by Eric Vance. Please like and subscribe.